Hey guys, it's Saturday 3rd. I wanted to talk to you about fitting in when you were born to stand out. Now, with the ever-growing concern of the expanding human population, the animal kingdom all got together and said we need to work on our strengths and get ourselves together, and anybody that's got any weaknesses, we need to work on them. So they got together and they came up with the fundamentals of life, which they considered to be swimming, running, climbing and flying. And they decided everybody's got a little bit to work on, everybody's got some development areas, so you know what, we're all going to do exactly the same thing and we're all going to do the curriculum. So first lesson in, we had the duck. Now the duck was a fantastic swimmer. He did really well in his swimming, but when it came to running he wasn't doing very well, and to be honest he was quite an average flyer as well. So they decided that he needed to work on his running, so he'd have to stay behind after school to work on his running. Now he stayed behind so much that he actually really damaged his webbed feet, and they decided he'd have to give up swimming altogether to really work on his running, and his swimming obviously got worse. Next up was the cat. Now the cat was a fantastic runner and honestly a very good climber. But halfway through his first swimming lesson, he had a bit of a mental breakdown. And by the time the flying lesson came, he was no longer able to carry on with the class. Luckily, the squirrel was a fantastic climber as well. However, the squirrel didn't want to listen to instructions and helped all the other clients and all the other pupils, which meant that he overworked himself trying to help everybody else get his strength the same as their strength, pulled his shoulder and slowly got worse and worse until the point that he was just an average climber and he completely failed flying, not to mention how bad he was at swimming. And then there was the eagle. The eagle was a problem student, to be honest with you. He did well in climbing, but he insisted on using his own method. And as a result of that, and he wouldn't listen to what the teacher was saying, the method that everybody else was using, he insisted on using his own method, that he actually had his wings clipped as a punishment. So he meant he had to work on his running all the time and developed a little bit of a strange running technique. Now the star pupil was actually a very strange looking eel, which was a fantastic swimmer. And it was like an average sort of runner, and flying was sort of average as well. And he was hailed as the fantastic star pupil until he unfortunately died in an unfortunate climbing accident. So at the end of the curriculum, at the end of the academic year, everybody came out with no strengths and is very average at everything else. Now this is obviously a story, guys, but it says to us, and what I want you to take away from it, is work on your strengths. It's great having development areas. It's great having weaknesses and things you want to get better at. But if you've got a strength, work on your strength. Harness, acknowledge, and celebrate your strength. Because you are the only person that has the thing that you can do better than anybody else. So stop trying to fit in when you were born to stand out. Have a fantastic Saturday night, and I'll see you tomorrow.